It is another week in the books. It's the OndeckTV podcast. I am Spike Luke.
Man, holla at your boy Animal Brown, the Husky Vegan, a.k.a. Veggie Jackson.
Veggie Jackson,
absolutely,
bringing a new one back.
Yeah, my Pistons kill it right now, so I got to show respect to Reggie Jackson. He hooping playoffs.
Is he?
Yes, he
Playoffs.
Absolutely. So it's Veggie Jackson. Follow me, Animal_Brown. If you look, Animal_Brown. If you're looking for me on IG and Twitter.
I am Spike Lou. If you're looking for me, you got a Chick-fil-A shirt on, don't you?
No.
Whoa.
They do none of that Chick-fil-A, but the superfood salad and the waffle fries with barbecue sauce.
What up, M Extra? Waffle fries with barbecue sauce.
Fire.
What's going on with your boy M Extra 3 on all things social media? How you guys doing?
Slow motion Billy Ocean, man. What you have on deck for the weekend?
I was slow motion. I watched that new OG movie on HBO.
That new OG.
Yeah, that new OG.
How was it?
Okay.
OG was okay.
Yeah, okay. If you're bored, ain't got nothing to do, you chilling on a Sunday, watch it. Right before the weather changes, anything like that, you know, before it get too warm outside, and you got plenty of other stuff to do. So, decent at best. What you have up this weekend?
Man, moving. Guys, we need to start a moving company.
Congratulations on the new home. That we could do.
Absolutely. Listen, they are cracking heads to move your shit from A to B.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this. I forgot about this. I ain't moved in about 5 years.
You forgot about it?
I forgot about that. Yeah. We need to all start a moving company business and retire in 2 years.
It just hit you when you got that bill, huh?
That shit crazy. And we price match, call like 4 people. Didn't matter.
Hey, look, you want to grab that too? Oh, you we want to grab it?
Oh,
yeah. They making it easy as possible. Then they hand you like, what? Wait, what? Hold on, bro.
That game crazy.
Too late.
Man, MX, what you have on deck?
Man, I did. Actually, I had an event for weekend. I had a homeboy from DC come down. Shout out to Ron and his lovely wife Mimi. So I hung out for drinks, dinner. You know, I had to swag him out on Saturday night.
Swag him out.
Jesus.
Spillage was everywhere on Saturday.
Spillage was everywhere. That's nasty.
No one's safe.
That is nasty. Good thing you had some new 2 Chainz to listen to since you're talking about spillage.
We're going to get to that
King
in a few.
Spillage.
Almost ruined my weekend.
More on that later, but let's get to a couple of these topics, man. Drake and Meek Mill. Let's talk about them, man. Meek's motivation tour is in full swing. He had a stop in Hollywood over the weekend. Brought out Aubrey as a special guest. They performed a couple of their joints and whatnot. And Drake has some interesting words for his one-time rival. He said, and I quote, "He has definitely had the best comeback ever for a rapper," referring to Meek's success since coming home from jail. Or was he? That's another question. 2 questions. Was that a backhanded compliment? And does Meek actually have the best rap comeback ever?
That is 1,000,000% down Drake's MO, a backhanded compliment, but that's what Drake do. Like, we could expect this.
He's a shade king.
Like, Meek continuing to open himself up to lose to Drake. Like, it just, I don't understand it. Like, it's an L.
Right.
2, one of the problems with Drake's generation and like the generation that call him the greatest and things of that nature is like they overreact in this sense. The ones that say like LeBron's the best, the ones that have never heard, like Drake don't know who Tupac is? Did Tupac like not get out of jail and come out with All Eyes on Me and go like 7 times platinum? Where's Meek Mill album that went 10 times platinum?
True.
Like, so I think it's part of the generation that Drake leads where they make these statements and then once somebody would be like, well, you never heard of Tupac? He'll come up with some excuse and be like, well, you know, I didn't mean that, and then like, whatever. I just think it's a part of the whole Drake, LeBron, millennial generation, that comment. He doesn't believe it either, I don't think.
Well, number one, you're part of that millennial generation.
I was about to say.
Am I.
I'm not.
And also, the first thing I thought about when he said you had the biggest comeback, I immediately thought he was referring to when Drake killed him, his career, and he came back. That was the first thing. And I was like, oh, shit, he was locked up. I forgot about that. And he did, Nicki did leave him in the process of all of that. So people thought it was OV for Meek. Yep. He has bounced back pretty strong. But to your point, though, it's been several examples of people who have bounced back. And you can come back in different ways in hip-hop. You can come back from a jail stint, a bad album.
Retirement,
a scandal. You know what I'm saying? You can come back in several different ways. A couple off the top of my head, you got to go Ross with the CO pictures. People, we thought it was Dunzo. Yeah. He bounced back strong. Snoop's first album was a classic, but his second album was trash. And then he left Death Row. We thought it was a rap, but he, obviously is still out here cooking. And probably Dr. Dre, too, because when he left Death Row and had Aftermath, That shit wasn't hitting on nothing. Firm was some slaw. Aftermath Records was looking some slaw. And then Eminem's tape magically landed in his lap. Thank God. We don't know where Dre would be at if it wasn't for that. So Drake was in the moment. You called the moment. It was a dope look. Brought him out in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? You say shit like that you don't necessarily mean, but I don't think it was a backhanded compliment though.
I definitely think it was a backhanded compliment. That's how Drake moves. So tell me about two other comebacks. Do you think that Jay-Z's comeback once he dropped Black Album and came back with Kingdom Come? Y'all ain't
That's a reverse.
Not really a comeback. Yeah,
it flopped. It was a flop.
No, that wasn't necessarily a comeback. He didn't fall off. Like, when I think comeback, when I think comeback, I don't think it fell off.
Kingdom Come wasn't like it took another album after Kingdom Come for people to be like, oh yeah, Jay's back.
That's because that wasn't his best work. But there's other examples.
Gucci, T.I. when he
that's what I'm saying.
Came back.
Sure.
As I said, Tupac. So yeah, I mean, I think it was a backhanded compliment, and Meek just putting himself in position again to lose to Drake as he's continuously done. So.
And Extra, was that a backhanded compliment?
No, I don't. I think people just thinking too deep into it, man. He's a nice guy. He tries to.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, it's his whole him and Chance are always fighting for the nice guy award in hip hop.
Drake is a stone cold killer. I don't know what you've been watching.
Yeah, until he runs into Pusha T, but that's another story. But I don't think so. I think he had. The greatest of all time. No.
That's a stretch.
That's definitely a stretch.
And that's the knee-jerk reaction to, you were saying, to where people are today. The microwave mentality. We only remember what happened the last month. Max.
Let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. The biggest flop comeback is that Shine?
That's a big one. That's a big one. Him or Boosie.
I don't even know.
And that's your man's. It's right there, though.
That's a tough.
Because he came back and it was crickets.
No, I got one with Mace.
That's big too.
Mace was the worst.
But wasn't nobody really anticipating.
Nah, he had a whole welcome back song.
Yeah, but didn't nobody care though.
And he was signed with 50.
Yeah. The 50 shit was big. That was big. The 50 rumors did kind of hype it up, but wasn't nobody really checking for Mace like that.
Yeah, but
if we're being honest,
pastor, not a pastor, or what do you like? Come on.
And that's your man's. That's somebody. That was your boy when that Harlem World.
Harlem World was the shit. Harlem World was the shit.
Riding with Mace.
It was like
Harlem World was damn near classic.
Yeah, damn for sure.
Moving on from that topic.
100%.
Yes.
Let's go back here in Atlanta, man. 12-year-old rapper Corey J. All right, you familiar with Corey J, man? He's an up-and-coming rapper. Is now facing felony charges for, wait for it, selling his CD in the mall. He was arrested last October, but now he's been formally charged. Let me read off the charges here, people. Disorderly conduct with violence, criminal trespassing, and an obstruction felony. Now, police say they told him not to sell CDs, but then he left, came back, started selling anyway. There's a viral video that went viral of a police officer with a vice grip on him that kind of escalated this whole situation. My question is, if indeed they did tell him not to sell CDs, this whole situation, was it fair or foul?
Well, it's definitely foul because, I mean, at what point, as an officer, you I got to arrest you now, little 12-year-old, because I can't get you out of the mall. I can't contact parents. I can't do anything other than take you to juvenile or jail or wherever you went and put some on your record because you were selling CDs. There's no way that I can get my point across other than grabbing you by your neck and putting you in handcuffs and walking you out in front of all of these people. That's the only way that you'll understand this. So I do definitely think that that's foul. I think that the police was trying to get something else off because he was embarrassed. Once the cameras came out from the guy's aunt, and she really couldn't do nothing. I mean, what's she going to do? Get threw on the ground by the big male police officer as well. So, I mean, he was actually more embarrassed once the cameras started coming out. So I think he reacted to that. Then he started jerking the little boy around. And it's just a nasty situation. And I think it stems from police officers not knowing how to do their job. Like, you don't know how to de-escalate a situation with a little boy that's 12 years old. Like, it doesn't matter how unruly that he gets. I personally, and I may be speaking like ignorantly here, but I don't feel like that he was a threat to a guy that has a vest on and a gun, a taser. Like, you have all of these methods in which you can defuse the situation. And this little boy was like, what, 3'5"? Like, he was like a little kid, literally. So, like, even if he says something smart and you got to take a little bit more than you would usually take, I feel like that should be like law for police to have to be able to de-escalate as opposed to going this route and like locking a little boy up and charging him with a bullshit felony.
Yeah, that shit crazy. I would say this, and I knew his name sounded familiar when I heard about this story. He's been on Ellen before, and he's been on CNN before for pushing like positive hip hop coming from a kid's perspective. And I've said this on the show before. I think the lane for a kid rapper is completely open right now. We've had one or two each decade, you know what I'm saying, Criss Cross in the 90s, Bow Wow, Romeo in the 2000s, but it's been quiet in the 2010s for the most part. So I think it's a wide open lane for him or a rapper like him. But of course, the police officer was doing too much, obviously. And then what's messed up is you can't really see the camera once, like, he grabs them, and then you can hear, that's his aunt, you said? Mm-hmm. You can hear the aunt saying, like, oh, you don't have to, and then the camera flips and go all Blair Witch Project on us and shit. And it's like, damn, you don't really know what's happening. Is he getting body slammed? Like, it's a fucked up situation. But to kind of spin it to the hip-hop side of things, are you letting your 12-year-old son sell CDs in the mall today?
If he's been on Ellen and he's been on CNN already, yes, because that's a place for people of that age to congregate, to go talk to each other. So it ain't like he's 16, 17, and like it's a whole nother demographic that you got in there. If you got a kid that's pushing a positive message and is there, people probably notice him that are in his age group. So even if he just going to the mall to meet friends like he said he was doing, you're gonna cause a little frenzy because like you're popular. And that police officer didn't want to be at work that day. He pissed off. He probably told the little boy once, look, you causing too much of a commotion, go somewhere else. He didn't want to do it or deal with it. And once the little boy didn't leave it, because he didn't have to, because probably wasn't doing nothing other than like people coming up to him, hey, such and such, hey, you're off Ellen, let me take a picture, let me get on your IG, let me get on your Snap. Right. That's all it was. So if I'm the parent, I'm mad at the police. Like, you're not doing your job. Your job is not to arrest him. That's not your job, fam.
I ain't gonna lie though, when people come up to me selling CDs, that should be annoying as fuck though. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to him.
But when the last time a little 12-year-old boy came up to you?
I don't know if he was 12, but a kid came up to me though. I don't think this was him though. But a kid came up to me, and I was with my wife, and I kept it moving and had left her with him because I ain't want to hear what he was talking about. Yeah, I swerved his ass. I ain't like I was on the phone strong.
And left him with your wife?
Yeah, so. Oh my God. And she was like, I ain't got no cash. And he was like, oh, I got the swipe. I was like, damn.
Yeah, that don't work these days. Everybody got smartphones.
Hey, you should put him on game, though. You petty. You should put him on game. Like, look, little bro, ain't nothing I could do with no CD. Yeah. You was out here with like an MP3 out of game. I
still would have done
$100 or something. But like,
I respect the hustle, though.
Ain't nothing I could do with a CD.
I respect the hustle because it take a lot to walk up to strangers to do anything. Yeah. I don't talk to this motherfucker, so I get it. But I'm cool. Just don't come up to me with no CDs. Kid, grown man, elderly, I don't even care.
Yeah. Me being from Atlanta, this whole thing is, everybody knows about Cobb County.
Cattle being booked.
Yeah. Cobb County doesn't have the best history with minorities, black people.
Have you seen that clip where he was talking about the weed thing? Where he said the girl smelled like weed.
Yeah, Cobb County has a history of overzealous police officers, and this is just another example of this. This is why people hate cops, because it's unnecessary.
Right.
It's really unnecessary.
Cops like him.
Yeah. It's good cops, you know what I'm saying? But this is why black people have a disdain for certain police officers. This is a perfect example right here.
Yeah, he was going way too hard, but just don't send me no CD.
Does that go differently if it's a white kid?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, probably. Yeah. I mean, we've all lived in America long enough to know the answer to that.
For sure. Because he would have knew who the little white kid was. He ain't got no idea who the black kid is.
He don't watch Ellen?
Yeah. He didn't give a damn. He didn't give a damn who he was.
All right, man. Let's keep it moving. Let's take it to Florida, man. T-Pain speaking on Tekashi 6ix9ine. Now, T-Pain is doing his media rounds right now for his surprise album, One Up, that dropped last week. While he was on Big Boy's radio show, he spoke on Tekashi 6ix9ine's alleged snitching. He says, and I quote, "I would snitch so hard. But on the real, though, the man has a family and a daughter. A lot of people say, well, he wasn't thinking about that when he was doing that. Yes, he was. When does the street code override your family? These are people you met 2 years ago." End quote. Now, several hip-hop acts responded negatively toward that. Fab, Gilly the Kid, Gunplay, several Snoop. Is the T-Pain criticisms fair or foul?
It's fair coming from it's coming from T-Pain. And the people that responded and criticized him are notably like street dudes. Like Snoop is affiliated. Gunplay, like street dude. Me, who else did you say?
Gilly.
Fab, Gilly the Kid. Like, these are people that are from the streets. They affiliate with street people. Dude, T-Pain is like, he's a singer. He's a T. Like, have you seen his baby mom? That's the picture that should be up there.
He's a rapper turned singer.
That and like T-Pain just not about that life. He's never acted like he was about that life. So one, to ask him the question and expect anything differently, I mean that's on the interviewer. But two, like you can't drag T-Pain for that. Like that's not what he's about or from. Him speaking from a logic standpoint, knowing someone 2 years, and then like saying, "Well, I'm going to go to jail for the rest of my life." Of course, that sounds dumb. Of course, that sounds stupid to someone on the outside looking in because he just don't know what entails or what goes with that, or everything that goes into that.
Yeah,
because he ain't from that,
and that's why it's foul to criticize him because they know that he does not know that. Yeah. Now, if this was a street artist giving that, because that's what Troy Ave is trying to spin right now.
What's it?
That whole man, the street. I don't owe the streets nothing, and I don't owe this dude nothing, and he's trying to spin that after using bricks in my backpack to get on. So it's the same thing, except he's a street artist and T-Pain is not.
Well, but see, I think Troy Ave, the thing with Troy Ave is that he wanted to use it until now you on trial, nigga. Now it's a nigga in jail doing life and it's a nigga dead. And now you want to be like, oh, I mean, I didn't know that this was going to happen when I acted like I was just such this gangster.
It's only entertainment.
Yeah. With T-Pain, it's more so like, you can't criticize him. Like T-Pain never, not one day ever, has did anything other than like I want to make love to a stripper. Or
right.
That's been his vendetta. That's his thing since day one. So when somebody asks him, you can't expect him to speak from like this. So you're taking it with a grain of salt.
That's what I'm saying, but they're not though. People are in the comments. Fab had a 4-page IG letter,
as he should,
addressing it. And I get it. He said some legit shit.
Yeah, what did Fab say?
Fab was basically like, this is the problem here. You have to understand that when you're in that life, you have to take what comes with it. No matter what, 1 year, 2 year, 3, you can't run around and scream gang and eat off of it. Right. But then when some real shit happened to you.
To Fab's point, T-Pain knows that though. Regardless of him being in the life or from it, anything, T-Pain knows that just from a general sense.
Are we sure?
He got to.
Yeah, that's why.
We weren't born yesterday.
Well, this is what I was gonna say when I said I disagree with you both. Do you know T-Pain started from the hood as a rapper?
He ain't like.
But he knows the code.
His image was.
It doesn't matter, but he knows the code.
So you saying he was well trained?
Yes, he knows the code. I'm not giving him this pass because he's an R&B singer. No, this nigga knew the code. He still knows it, and he just making it. Come on, man.
And to what he's not realizing or what he's not admitting, he's speaking from the sense of a 30-year-old man with kids. I just happen to be a rapper that's still popular. My everyday life is just like that of a successful businessman in America. I have no idea why y'all out here shooting people and not telling on each other and why it's not peace and calm. That's how T-Pain looking at it. He's well past all of that stuff.
Yeah, and he's speaking from a civilian perspective, as he should, because that's what he is.
He's a civilian.
I think Gunplay, his comment.
I don't know about the level of ignorance I'm ready for this comment.
He said,
name is Gunplay,
and I quote, "Niggas ain't even built or qualified to even be asked that question." So that's what happens. Weak niggas' opinions going wild. And then Snoop also commented on Fab's post and said,
I like Gunplay's comment.
Yeah, no, Gunplay shit was funny, but again, he should know who we're speaking about. And I think that needs to be taken into consideration. To be fair, though,
I think that needs to be said, though. Like what you said, T-Pain can come out and say that, but things like what Gunplay say, like it has to be acknowledged from some senses or places that even though we are all shrugging off as bullshit because it's coming from T-Pain, people like Snoop, people like Gunplay, they have to say something. I changed my mind. They have to say something so people will look at it and realize that you can't just get away with saying bullshit like this, because some kids will believe it. Some kids will come up now and they'll be like, well, T-Pain said that it was all right or it was cool.
And they need family and people close to them to explain to them the difference. If they're looking at T-Pain as a role model,
right?
That's the first problem.
Tekashi's role models were the people that he's telling on.
And the people that he told on were plotting to kill him. Does he owe them anything?
He don't owe them nothing.
So then, are you saying T-Pain is correct then? That's what I'm asking.
I'm saying, yes, he is correct in what he's saying, but I'm also saying that, I just said I changed it in the middle of talking about it, but I'm also saying that he has to be checked when he says stuff by people that go through it. Like, it's okay for him to speak his mind, because I mean, it's T-Pain. You're gonna ask him the question. You can't say, "Well, I don't want to talk about that," because then who want to listen to your interview, right? You're doing this. It's your job to do it, to talk about this, to be interesting. But also, when people respond to it, I think people just can't say, "Oh, that's just T-Pain." Like, you can't do that, because then it'll go out there as true.
I can't believe T.I. ain't said nothing about this.
T.I. don't. His sister just paid.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Morning at the moment.
He ain't worried about none of this.
T-Pain knows better, man. Bottom line. I ain't giving no pass.
Have y'all seen T-Pain baby mama?
Yes.
Have y'all seen Lil Durk baby mama?
Yes.
Who has the worst looking baby mama?
Oh my God, we're not doing that.
That was Spike Lee.
Yeah,
I'm good at Chicago and Tallahassee.
We're not doing that.
I can go to either one and be straight.
A lot of rappers have terrible looking baby mamas.
These the worst too. I promise you.
But I don't
You
want
never
to.
look them up. Look them up.
No, I'm good.
Check the show.
Beauty's in
notes.
the eye of the beholder.
Put the link in there. Put the link in the show notes to a picture of each one of these. I guarantee people will agree with this.
Moving on, man. Before we get to this music break, Young Dolph, that's your man's.
Hey.
Dolph was enjoying a nice meal at Cracker Barrel
Oh my
I hope
God.
it was breakfast.
in Fairburn, Georgia. First of all, it's breakfast 24 hours at Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, that's what's
Oh, yeah.
He was eating breakfast.
He was in Fairburn, Georgia, which is south of Atlanta, when thieves broke into his camouflage-painted G-Wagon truck
I wonder who that was.
and stole approximately $500,000 worth of jewelry. Let me read off what they made off with, allegedly.
I ain't rolling.
Diamond chain, $27,000. Another chain, $57,000. A Richard Mille watch, $230,000.
Richard.
A Patek Philippe, $85,000. Two Cartier glasses, one was $24,000, one was $700, and a couple of other items: MacBook, AirPods, iPad, Glock, all that shit. Now I've got 100 questions to go with this, but my first one: are you surprised that rappers are still dropping this much dough on jewelry?
No, these are lies. These people ain't spending that much money. Well, rappers are not spending that much money on jewelry. Just like y'all were telling me about the QC throwing the $500,000 in the club or the $250,000.
Right, tax write-off and a bunch of other shit.
Man, listen. The reason here's my theory.
Okay.
They go in there, they take the pictures with the jewelry guy, and they say, "Hey, look, tell him you paid $500K for this. I'm gonna charge you $130."
Okay.
You pay $130 now. The hood guys, the drug dealers, is trying to spend the $500,000. They going, "Oh, well, Dolph spent $500,000. Well, let me give you $3. I made double." So the people that are spending the money on the jewelry are the people that got the frivolous money to spend. The drug dealers, the scammers, and people like that. And that's just because people like Dolph gonna advertise and say in situations like this, "Oh, it's $500,000." Those insurance numbers and those are drug dealer numbers. I don't think no rapper. None today are going to spend $500,000 on jewelry. Like the narrative just isn't the same anymore like it was when people were spending that much money on jewelry, when the money was flowing through. Like people, they don't wear jewelry like that, and if they do, it's the big Cuban link joints like that. Like it ain't in excess to where it's going to get to that amount.
Clearly it is, because Dolph has something to say about that. But what's funny is I thought you were going to say it was a shuck for another reason.
What's that?
Because the police, all this was on tape, by the way. Right. Security cameras caught it. But they said when Dolph walked in, his blinkers blinked on and off once, and then a couple minutes later they blinked on and off 2 times. So they're like, did he hit the alarm on accident, or did he lock the car? Because it showed like you locked the truck. So then when he was eating, they said people came up to the car 3 times. They came up once, it looked like they had actually got in without breaking anything.
Right.
And then they said on the 3rd time they came up, that's when they broke the window.
Yeah.
So it sounds hella fishy. You know what I'm saying? He probably didn't think Cracker Barrel had security, because shit, I didn't know they had security cameras at Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel is a legitimate establishment.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not, but you think of it's kind of old school though. You don't really think of it being high tech.
With so many questions. And wow.
So you don't fuck with Cracker Barrel though? Cracker Barrel ain't that bad
it's
though.
Cool. It's cool. So you're saying that this is an insurance fraud thing?
It sounds crazy.
When we just talking about Dolph losing, like how much money did he lose just now?
No, I know he talked about not being signed to. Yeah, he was tired of being in his deal. He signed to a major.
Yeah, them insurance numbers. He just saying it's $500,000. He can get that.
The whole thing is fishy. If I'm driving a G-Wagon, I'm not eating at Cracker Barrel.
You're not eating the Cracker Barrel.
I don't even drive the G-Wagon. I don't eat the Cracker Barrel. So why would I? First of all, it's not only. It's
nothing wrong with Cracker Barrel.
No, people like what they like, and I don't like Cracker Barrel. Bro.
You know like it's IHOP.
You top 3 foods just
No, it's not far, but I'm saying like it's one thing to have a G-Wagon, right, and pull up the Cracker Barrel.
For sure.
You have the most expensive car in the lot. By far.
That's nice.
It's not subtle in the least bit because he wrapped it in camo.
That's a fact.
So he's a walking lick.
What does this have to do with him getting his stuff took though? Like why he can't?
That's why I said it's so fishy.
Can't Cracker Barrel?
That's true.
Oh, okay.
Why would you go? I mean, I'm not.
How can
last time it's not Lennox Ballet. This is Cracker Barrel on Fairburn, Georgia.
On the south side of this.
Yeah, like hey, why is he in Fairburn, Georgia? Like I don't. It's just so
he probably
much.
lives somewhere out there. There's big houses down on the south.
Yeah, you should have Uber Eats.
Serious.
If I have $500,000 of anything on me, I won't be in a damn Cracker Barrel. I guarantee you that.
Why wouldn't this alarm go off though?
Well, why'd you leave it in the car?
You gonna wear all of that? You gonna wear two
Cartier
glasses?
Who rides around with $500,000 worth of jewelry?
There's so many questions.
I ain't wearing this. I'm just gonna have it right here
might
in
be
the
on his way to
middle
a photo
console.
In the console.
Like what?
He might be on the way to a photo shoot or something like
Yeah, so
that.
they got these little things they call travel safes. Just lock them up. Just throw this mug in the trunk, dude.
First of all, no, the most outrageous thing was the Cartier glasses that were $24,000
Yeah, the Cartier's high.
for a pair of glasses.
That's the most outrageous.
You like
Yes.
Detroit? You don't know nothing about Detroit? That's Detroit all day.
No,
buddy.
he had a pair that was $700 and a pair that was $24,000.
Oh, that
What
means-
is the difference between the $24,000 and the
Because
$700 pair?
The wood
No,
outside.
but they added. What they're doing now is they're adding diamonds to the Cartier glasses.
Yeah, they are.
So that's
That's
why. That's why.
That's silly though.
Yeah. It is.
I ain't got 24
That's
stacks
straight-
for some
that's
glasses.
a
I ain't
straight
gonna lie.
Detroit thing too.
He bullshitting. All right, man. Let's hit this music break. Damn, Dolph. Dolph had a rough last 2 years, low key, real low key. Because I can't name the hit, but I can name the incidents that done happened.
Yeah.
Shot at, shot.
100 times.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Been rough on the Dolphins.
it's been rough. All
Look at
right.
the black youngster.
We don't need to ask that. He stayed where we at.
IG be crazy.
No, he needs to stay
I
where he's
still on
at.
IG?
Yeah, definitely.
Locked up.
You follow him?
I get sent stories.
Sure you.
I can't follow too much ignorance. I have enough things
Enough
I follow.
ignorance that you follow.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. We are back. That was The Baby featuring Offset, Babysitter. Lou, how you feel about The Baby? AKA Baby Jesus.
I ain't like that Atlanta bop from him. I like him when he slowed down, talking more gangster stuff. I don't like the baby dancing.
Dancing?
Club. It's like a club type thing. The upbeat, up tempo type thing. I don't like that from him. I like him more like. I heard some stuff from him when he was more slowed down.
But most of his projects is upbeat though.
This one,
Yeah.
yeah. The other ones.
Are you talking
I
about?
heard,
I fuck with The Baby. Killing Lil Baby. I listened to this 5 times before that. It's inevitable that they're going to be compared because their names are similar. Let's be honest. You remember him though when he was at South by Southwest with the diaper on? That was him.
Yeah, Revolt.
South by Southwest with the diaper on.
Never been to South by South.
No, I'm saying, but it made
we seen him. Oh yeah.
went viral. The
We
internet.
seen him somewhere.
That's the same dude.
Oh.
Yeah, that was like 4 years
I
ago.
thought we seen him somewhere with it.
Nah. We saw him on the internet on the World Wide Web, and that was a nice little promo stunt that worked for about 5 minutes. But now he's got music to kind of back up that shit.
And he got more stories.
He's got a lot more stories. He's undefeated outside the booth
He just shot when he shot and killed a nigga for trying to rob him.
in Walmart in the frozen food
He
section.
tried to. I don't. What? Wait. What?
It was inside
It was in
Walmart.
Walmart.
He shot and killed him in Walmart.
Yes, somebody tried to rob him inside Walmart.
Jeez.
He's with the shits.
Shout out to baby.
He got the video in Atlanta when he filmed the music video, and,
He tried to
the
run
goons
up on
tried to check him for
wasn't going.
He handled that exactly like how street rappers supposed to handle
He
that.
wasn't going.
he
I ain't
went.
gonna lie, that
He
was,
said,
that
"Who you
was
check
impressive.
in?" He said, "Who I need to check in?"
He said, "Ain't no permission slips."
All while rolling a blunt.
He wasn't pressed at all.
Then this was all last year, by the way. Last thing. Then he had a show where
I sprung on
he
dude
knocked
on
the
the show.
dude out while he was performing and kept performing.
Yeah, did
I was like, this nigga's amazing. Like what?
Man, you remember we did?
Shout out to the baby.
Nah, he's
You
a
remember
savage.
we were recording a documentary for Young LA,
Right.
and we were downtown underground, and he was performing, and it was the dude like flat out mugging him
So,
the
the whole
whole
time.
I'm talking about arms
Ice
crossed,
grill.
like just ice grilling him the whole time.
Yep.
He should have little baby him.
Doing the work, Young LA.
As we know now, Young LA didn't have it in the
That's true.
Not
It's
at all.
awkward to have somebody like that in the front row, man.
Yeah, it gotta feel weird, be real. All right, speaking of awkward, we're gonna get to this 2 Chainz album.
Awkward.
Rapper Go to the League, A&R'd by LeBron James.
Had to throw that in there.
You got to, man. This album needs all the help it can get. Now, let's get to expectations. You know how we get down. Expectations, initial thoughts, highlights, lowlights. Then we'll give it a rating on our real system. What were your expectations, although I already know, for this rapper Go to the League?
2 Chainz is my favorite rapper right now, so I was expecting a lot from it. I didn't let the LeBron A&R deter me. I still thought that it was going to come through, regardless of LeBron having anything to do with it. And I figured that coming off of the last album, Pretty Girls Like Trap Music, the marketing campaign, the success of it, I think that album put 2 Chainz in another realm of acts as far as MCs, rappers, booking prices. I think that put him on another level. You start seeing him on Vice, and you start seeing these things. So I think that he got what he was looking for with that album as far as popularity.
Right.
I was speaking with him before the show. He'll probably say something about it a little later. I don't seem like I'm stealing his thought, but I think that, or thought even coming into this, that this would be an album where he wanted to prove himself.
Okay.
Where he wanted people to understand that the No Lie 2 Chainz, you can get that, and the Mercy 2 Chainz, and the big, flashy, gimmicky stuff, you can get that, but also I can rap my ass off too. And I was rapping my ass off before all of this stuff happened, before when I was known as Titty Boy. So
right.
I think that's what I was looking forward to coming into this album.
And when you heard it, what were your initial thoughts? It matched your level of expectation?
Yes, it reminded me more so of Titty Boy, of the one that had Codeine, what's the name of that?
Codeine Cowboy?
It reminded me more of that album and that lane where he was telling more stories and it was more personable. He was talking about stuff that he wasn't trying to catch a vibe per se.
Right.
I didn't feel like that he was trying to grow the name 2 Chainz. When I listened to the album, I felt like that he was trying to let people know that, like I just said, he can rap his ass off. He can put songs together, and it doesn't have to be an Atlanta sound. It doesn't have to be a Migos sound. He doesn't need a big name on the feature. He can just put together a dope body of work and come out with what you have.
My expectations coming into it were pretty high too, man. I thought Pretty Girls Like Trap Music was the top 10 album of that year. I thought he's been killing features as of late. Pretty much everything he's done post the Collie part or whatever the him and Wayne shit was. I thought that was kind of a dud, but everything since then has been fairly on point. So my expectations were pretty high. The rollout for this wasn't as crisp as the Pretty Girls Like Trap Music and as like the Santa sweaters and all of that stuff that he's done. This one stumbled a little bit.
I blame Def Jam. You remember they had to switch at the head with Paul.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Switching over, and he said that, well, the album's been done, in my opinion, since they rented the Blimp.
Probably.
The Blimp went over Atlanta.
That was a while ago.
That was like over a year ago.
Yeah.
I feel like the album is probably a year old. He went in, tweaked some stuff, added some new verses, maybe gave you some updated tracks or vocals and things of that nature. Got some more features on there. But I think the album, in my opinion, been done for a while. It kind of sounds like, and the reason that you hit the dud and didn't have the strong marketing plan is because
he had plenty of time to market it, though.
He did. He had plenty of time. I just don't think that the right people were in place at Def Jam.
Plus, the single that he had with Drake and Quavo didn't make the album. That was supposed to be the lead single that was kind of warming up over the summer, but then kind of died out a little bit, and that didn't even make the album, period. So I thought that was interesting. And I also was expecting it to have the soul sound that he said it was going to have, based off the Monica song at the end of the last album. And initial thoughts were, when I listened to this in my headphones first when it came out. I liked it. My first thoughts was I liked it. I liked it, aborted a lot. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was dope. It gave me, early on, he did go with the samples. That gave me like a 444 vibe. It was like contemporary rap, grown man shit. He's mentioning his wife. He's mentioning his kids. He's mentioning the ring. He hasn't really done that like that before, even though he just got married. But he's been with her for a long time. He's never really had her in raps. It's been more flashy, kind of just braggadocious type shit. So this grown man tip that he was on, I was fucking with it at first, but I'm not gonna lie. After the second, third, fourth, it started to go down a little bit and things started to separate. I think the first half is strong. I think it falls off in the second half, though. That's one of my knocks, and we'll get to it when we talk about the highlights and the lowlights. But it's not on the same level as Pretty Girls Like Trap Music. And like you said, he wasn't trying to separate himself from the rest of the pack because you feel like he may feel like he's already there. I don't think so. I think it takes more than one fire ass project to get in that lane. You have to be able to prove that you can do it over a span of multiple projects and not just one. I think Boats 2 was okay, but Pretty Girls Like Trap Music was like up there.
Boats 1 was fire though.
Boats 1 was good. Boats 1 was definitely good, but it wasn't on.
They had like 8 smash singles.
He had some fire on there. No, you're right. A couple of cheat codes. They had Kanye on one of the singles, Drake on another one. No, those are cheat codes, like if we being 100. But I think he took a step back with this one in trying to reduplicate what he did with Pretty Girls Like Trap Music. But it's not bad, though. I want to be clear on that. I just think the first half is stronger than the second half. Thank God it wasn't 16 tracks like they originally had planned it. 14, that was perfect.
Them other two that LeBron got tucked off.
Bonus.
They gonna come out when playoff Bron is deactivated. The other two. I say this. People know my feelings for 2 Chainz, and I do this and I compare him to Rick Ross and what I'm saying when I say this about Rick Ross. As far as the ascension for 2 Chainz and what you're speaking of, I think that was pretty gross like trap music. I think that's as high
He
as
maxed out.
that plateaus, right?
Really?
Now I think it's about adding to the catalog, because you spent so long rapping in Player Circle and you spent so long rapping as Titty Boy, you don't have a lot of accredited stuff to go back to.
Solo.
Right. So now you got the Boats 1, you got Boats 2, you got Pretty Girls Like Trap Music, and you got this. What is it?
That's 4.
Well, you got this, you got 4. You gunning for like 7, 8. You want to make sure that you're relevant for a good while, so you got to tone it down some, because you're not sure how this flashiness is gonna stay in, and like, in my opinion, I think the tide is turning, and he's at the forefront of that. And the reason that I say that, you seen Offset on Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Now when you
you know what? I actually fucked with that Breakfast Club, and I fuck with Offset more now.
Yeah.
After hearing him, I respect a lot of shit
good
he
interview,
said.
and in that interview he says he thinks the game is changing and getting more lyrical. Now, when you got Amigo saying that,
Don't do Migos any kind of way.
but be honest, them ain't the people that you look to be like, oh man, they switching to the lyrical miracle joint. And not to say that they finna be in there barring anybody down, but for Offset to even acknowledge that, I think that 2 Chainz takes some of the same acknowledgement and has people know, like, I want to rap it out. I can't do all of the gimmicky, high-end stuff. I want to do something that's going to be sustainable for at least the next couple of years.
Yeah, and MXer, I want to get your opinion on this too, as the Atlanta native. Was this on par with the last project?
No, it was not to me.
Drip season 3.
No, it's a different category again. We got to take it in categories. However, I will say this about, I know what 2 Chainz was striving for with this album. As Lou pointed out earlier, he wants people to take him seriously as a lyricist. This album gave me a lot of East Coast vibes to it. And I know 2 Chainz is a big fan of East Coast hip-hop. He's never made that a secret. And I think this is an album that he wanted to do. His fans expect... It was no bops on this album. It was no, this is that record, that club record that people are accustomed to.
The banger, the street bangers. It's
none of that on this album. This album was very, like you said, in a 4/4/4 mode. The samples. The first song is my favorite song. So
that shit crazy.
It went that way. But like I said, he wanted to, with this album, be regarded as someone who can really rap, and as opposed to just a Southern artist. And that's what he went with this. And I can see why some of his fans are like, what's going on? But I can see his direction. I don't dislike the album. Yeah. It's a good album.
Right.
But it's not better than his last project.
I agree. What
I think, well, just one point. I think that he has the right, though, like you guys were saying, that I do think that he feels like he's underappreciated.
Yes.
And the reason being is because, for instance, just with the Jay-Z thing. Jay-Z told him, I got you on the next one. A little bit more work to do. Like, what?
Yeah, we just said his resume as 2 Chainz is short, relatively speaking.
So that's what I'm saying. He feels like that he is an upper echelon artist as of now, and when he looks at the rest of the people that are contemporary to him, they have Jay-Z features. For Jay to be like, yeah, you got a little bit more work to do. As 2 Chainz, you gotta look at that and take it in a. And I ain't saying that he think that Jay slighted him. Right. It's just me speaking as a fan. He probably takes that as one of the things that keep him shooting in the gym, and that's why he comes out with an album like that, because he's still being regarded in that sense of, all right, you got to do the Pink House to make people like your music, or you got to get LeBron to A&R it. He's just doing this so people will pay attention to how cold he is, in my opinion.
What?
He don't need necessarily.
Well, he says it on one of the. On one of the songs, he said they're not paying attention to the words or something. He alluded to that.
I agree.
I mean, so that's what
he said it on the Pull Up with Joe Budden they interview too, and so.
I mean, it's a little of a letdown for me, but I'm not mad at it.
But you wasn't looking for him to prove himself to you either. You looking to party.
Well, this album for me is the album that could have been for 2 Chainz. For sure.
Had he did these in reverse, I think they would have been a little bit more effective.
Well, yeah, because it would have been a step up at that point. Yeah. This is a step down from the last album. in any way you slice it. Whether it's whether it's you prefer like a trapped out sound.
I feel like he's a better artist on this album than he was on that last album. That last album is kind of spread thin as far as the creativity on it.
Fire.
To me,
it's fire.
Album, I sit with this one more so than I sit with that last album.
I still play Burglar Bars to this day.
I still play.
And that's a song that you think might be able to be on this album, but it just sounded different. The production sounded different, and Monica's voice is amazing. We know that. So I don't know. I don't know what
that song probably was supposed to be on this album.
Probably so. Are you disappointed that the whole project didn't sound like that? Like we thought it was?
I am, because I feel like that's a story that 2 Chainz or a mode that 2 Chainz could get in and be dope at, using that speed with slowed down soul sample, but also it's about to be spring, summertime, and he couldn't.
No bops for the summer on this album.
I mean, but he got enough on there.
There's that one Thug, Young Thug record.
Yeah.
This ain't going in the Jeep in the summertime, this album. No way.
This ain't in the G-Wagon, in the camo G-Wagon.
No, for sure.
What's your highlights? What did you rock with on here?
I liked the intro. The intro was super dope.
You can't go wrong with Marshall.
Could not go wrong with Marshall.
Shout out to Marshall. He's blessed. Yeah, all the hip-hop all the time. And your solo project was phenomenal.
That's true.
I like Threat to Society. That was pretty dope to me.
That's the 444 wannabe song.
Yeah, exactly.
He wanted Jay. That's the song he wanted Jay on.
He wanted Jay on the
Guarantee
song.
that.
Was there, and then Jay was like, next year, like, come on, bro, next year.
I thought Jay was saying more
next year
forgiving.
me, bro, huh?
No, I'm saying it just had a sample on it. That was a very 444-esque beat.
Yeah.
I like Statute of Limitations. What he was talking about, just dealing with all the other
That
rappers.
was hard.
I also like I Said Me. And I love I'm Not Crazy, Life Is. Chance absolutely killed that. I'm here for Chance and Kodak any day. I like Sam, the end song. And also, man, Young Thug is continuing to grow on me. I've said it like a month straight. I like, everybody was shitting on the Young Thug verse
It was
over here.
terrible.
I ain't mad at it. It's exactly what I expect from Young Thug. I was entertained.
It was terrible.
So, those are my highlights.
What let me tell you what worked for me. I thought the basketball
East Coast like my West Coast.
trash. I think the basketball themes worked.
Oh, the NCAA.
The intro,
yeah.
with the basketball clip of him being introduced, the NCAA, the Sam talking about the taxes and stuff like that. I like the sprinkles of the basketball theme throughout. And like I said before, I thought the first half of the album was strong. I think Rule the World is a strong radio banger though. Like if this was like 05, it'd be number 1 on 106 for like 2 months straight.
Yeah. Like
that's one of them. Cheat Code with the A. Marie sample though, which is super dope still to this day. But I think that worked, and I thought it was interesting that he had Ariana Grande on there. She owed him a favor for swagger jacking him on her shit. But that's a whole other story. I'm going to tell you what didn't work for me, though. You say that he was trying to separate himself lyrically on here. I thought he had several struggle bars on here. A lot of bars didn't land at all. He even used some of the old throwback flows like some. Blimp, some. I was like, what? Nigga, ain't nobody rap like that in 10 years, dude. Like, what are you doing? So I thought he was struggling. I also thought the Kendrick song was borderline slaw.
What's Kendrick doing out here, though?
It shouldn't even made the album, dude.
That needs to be addressed to Kendrick Lamar. Like,
that shit was some, like, I get it. You get Kendrick on your album. That's a big thing. Now, Kendrick's an A-list artist. You want the Kendrick feature, you got it. You got the first Kendrick verse of 2019. But dude, like that has to not make it, dog. That's not song isn't back.
Okay, I'm getting the Kendrick verse back. Right? Like that's what you
yeah, for sure. A-list artist.
And you get that verse back and you hear it and you're like, bro, what is this shit?
Well, at least he rapped on his 2 Chainz, bro. And that Jeezy verse, he don't want none of that cold smoke on that.
That's true.
But you had to throw that dream around. And like, he get it back, he like, bro, what is this shit? Then he can't get in touch with Kendrick Lamar because he's so damn busy being an A-list artist. So you're looking at it like, do I want the Kendrick Lamar feature or do I just drop this? So you get the Kendrick Lamar feature.
You got this one got to go on the back burner. Maybe this is one of the bonus tracks that comes out in a couple weeks.
Oh, I definitely agree with you, but I mean, as an artist, I'm putting Kendrick Lamar on my album.
How you waste 2 good features? Ty Dolla $ign feature was a waste.
The Ty Dolla $ign feature was a wash.
That's all trash.
That's on some slaw, and that was another
Thug song. I think the biggest.
Nah, Thug song was cool.
I liked it. I ain't like the Young Thug.
I liked him on the hook though. He just blew it with the verse, which leads to my last low light, which are the features, dog. Thug's shit should have been a feature. Should have been a hook. E40's shit sound like he recorded on the flip phone. The Ty Dolla $ign. How you blow a Ty Dolla $ign feature in 2019 is beyond me. Him, Chris Brown, those should be layups. You know what I'm saying? So the only one that really, for real, worked was the Marsha. If we be in 100, that was it.
I like the Young Dolph.
You said Ariana worked too.
Oh, the Ariana, yeah, no, I rock with that too.
You ain't like Chance to Kodak?
Nah.
What?
I don't like Chance.
I don't
though.
like neither one of them.
Well, you do like the Young Dolph feature?
I do.
I thought you didn't like.
Yeah, I like the Young Dolph.
Oh.
What didn't work? Anything on here? Or you gonna act like it was a classic?
No, I ain't gonna do that. Money in the Way, was that the name of it?
That's banging. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
I ain't like that.
What?
I ain't like Money in the Way.
That's one of the 7 good songs on
Didn't
it.
like that. Mama Hit a Lick. Like what you said, the girl's best friend. I'm iffy on that $2 bill. And that's pretty much it. Those are the only ones that I didn't like. Now, it just far as takeaways from him, some of the features, like I like the Marsha, I like the Young Thug. I could have did without the Travis Scott, or it could have been something more Travis Scottish.
That was very Travis Scottish.
Not in my opinion. I feel like 2 Chainz tried to like 2 Chainz. It was like 2 Chainz trying to do Travis Scott. That's what it was like.
I hate these Travis Scott features on the artist album. Like, it's because they want to make it sound like a Travis Scott song. I can't.
That's
stand
what
it.
I'm saying. Like
It's
I would
annoying.
rather it be like something with Travis Scott coming to bless you. That's it. I just wish I could have had some more like him and Lil Baby or a him and T.I. or something like that. Just some more. I did want, once I read what M-Extra said in the group chat, something just like more Atlanta. Like it ain't that one
Just
song.
one.
Just like like some Atlanta shit on here. And that's not on here. I feel like that he missed the one with
Not
that.
at all.
Especially dropping this time of year. Like it would have been one to take you to the summer like Young Dolph does every year with We in the City or some shit.
Where
like
does this fit in this catalog?
Boats.
Is it better than Boats 2?
Yes.
Is it better than Boats 1?
No. It's Boats. My catalog rank of him is Boats 1, Pretty Girls Like Trap Music, this, Boats 2. So.
Yeah, that's about right. No, this might
But
be at the
at
end.
least Boats 2 had a banger on there. That Wayne and Drake song was a banger. He don't have,
I like
he
Boats
don't have
2.
any of these on there.
I definitely like Boats 2. There's too many songs on there.
And then I don't like, even on a Threat song, I wanted to like it, but Threat. Like, I can't. Come on.
LeBron ruined that for me, Slick.
LeBron gassed this whole project.
You have to, though. He named you A&R. You have to.
Yeah.
Did the High Life sample let you down?
Yes.
Let's be honest. When you saw the Instagram clip and you heard the High Life beat,
Yeah. You took.
then you find out he's talking about taxes.
Yeah, I was like, what? You gonna get your song about taxes?
Yeah, it should have been another verse or something.
Contemporary rap right here, dude.
Like that's where some A&R should have been like, hey, bro, like
Not that sample.
you might want to go listen to their UGK highlight song
Right.
and then come back and like just do it off that. But yeah,
And that's what we were talking about, how he ended the last album perfectly.
That facts. Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fair.
This song,
talking, that was hard.
This song felt like it was some more like, this is it.
That's what happened.
I can't, you
with
can't
LeBron,
end the
man.
song like this. I mean, end the album like this.
Playoff Broad.
Man.
Will LeBron get another A&R gig?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Chance probably.
I don't know.
Chance. I'm
That
telling
nigga
you.
don't even rap no more.
If this is
Chance coming out with an album this year.
yeah, for sure he's coming out.
Allegedly.
Chance, I could see Chance doing it. LA rapper. Ain't nobody.
I mean, I love LeBron, but I don't give a damn about his A&R. Come on, man.
He ain't gonna be playing basketball the next couple of weeks. So shit, he got
All right, man, we are back. That was Young Landstrip Chip.
Yes,
Land
yes.
Strip Chip. That's one of the few good rap names that I've heard here lately. I like that song.
He's a good young artist. He is from Atlanta. I don't want to get
From
it away
there?
right away. Yeah, but he's a good artist. He writes for a lot of people. He's on Def Jam.
Oh, word?
Oh yeah.
Young Land
So
Strip
shout
Chip.
out to the whole certified music family. That boy Pat, KD,
Okay.
Paul,
I will say this,
How
though.
much they pay you for that shout out?
Yeah, that was a
his family, man.
nice little pub. No, I'm gonna keep it real though. This song was straight though.
hard.
I want to be silly and funny, but no, the song was actually tough.
I like
Yeah.
Land Strip Chip.
It's a tongue twister though. The name is a tongue twister. We got to call him Chip. I'm
Young
gonna be
Chip,
real.
Young Chip.
No, he's better than the last chip we had.
Chip the Ripper.
Yeah,
He was straight though.
yeah, straight trash.
What? You like Chip? He was
No, I
straight.
used to like him. He made some.
Chip?
He
No,
changed his name, didn't
he had to.
he? Yeah. He was solid.
Yeah, but Land Strip Chip, yeah, for real.
I'm fucking with that. Don't be
Yeah,
real.
glad y'all like the record.
Land Strip Chip.
Next up, man, before we get out of here, we got a legal update. Ty Dolla $ign, remember he got those felony charges down here in Georgia. People catching cases down here, dude.
And like 6 rappers got with us.
Shit.
He's overzealous police in the South, man. He's
Clearly.
still a nigga in the coop.
You try to say in the South when it's Atlanta. Like they try to include the whole South. They want to
South,
say
man.
Georgia. It's Georgia.
The South.
It's definitely
get out of
Atlanta,
here,
man. He had 2 misdemeanors and a felony 2 felonies and a misdemeanor. But here's the thing, though. They said that his charges will go away if he has one condition. He's got to stay away from weed for 13 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
He can do that?
Yeah.
He ought to be able
If you want to be free here,
Shit. You know what weed done took that? People done passed up millions to hit the blunt.
There's 2 Dallas Cowboys that are right now suspended for. But yeah, I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
13 weeks. I mean, if they put in that scenario in front of you, should be able to start smoking. Like, well, at least figure it out.
That's amazing that that's all he has to do to dodge 20-something
I told you when we was doing this, I would throw that shit out. Like, it couldn't have been enough weed that they found in that backpack for all of the stuff that they was trying.
Exactly, and
Like,
then
dude, it was a backpack, dude.
and then there was 17 motherfucking people in the van.
You act like this nigga was transporting pounds, dude. Like, this was a smoke
Right,
set,
man.
dude.
And you gonna single out this man?
Yeah.
Coincidentally, single out the hip hop artist.
You gotta take the big name.
He should be
on,
able to do that though. Like, if he really just like he can smoke some CBD or something like that, but he should be able
Take a
to.
CBD gummy.
Yeah, something like that.
Nah, just stay away from
Relax.
everything before you have your black ass in jail. Like 13 weeks, man. Hey, just do hookah or something, man. You'll be alright.
Another update too. Jewel's he turned himself in to do his 27 months.
His lawyer needs to be fired.
He gonna do all 27
He had a
here?
gun at the airport.
That's
That's why
wild.
he should be commended.
And he tried to run off.
Yeah, you ran it.
And that was in New York. Like, he really got off light.
Oh, you ought to get that nigga a gift.
He should take the trial, man.
Hey, Mr. Big.
4 or 5 years. Let's go. Fed time. Let's go.
What do you get? 27 months?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Now we talked about earlier comebacks. He's leading the league. The fall off. That when we have that conversation,
God.
Jewel's is 100% in that.
From the missing teeth.
He number one in the
everything.
polls.
Not Ja Rule. He fell off harder than him because he was higher. Ja Rule was higher. He had a steeper of a fall.
You and there's another
I
nigga
don't
in the
know, man.
Facebook rap chat. Shout out to Facebook rap chat that challenged me on. Ja Rule had like 7 good
No,
songs.
you were hating.
7 good songs.
You said 4 last week.
I ain't saying he don't got 7 good songs.
Oh, you're a hater. He has.
He got 7 good songs. What's hating about that? Like,
You
what is
didn't say
hating
7
about that
last week
statement?
though.
He got 7
Ja Rule
good
had a
songs.
run.
You're making it seem
He
like he
had
didn't have
7
a run.
good songs.
That's a lot of good songs though.
That's
If
cool.
we're being honest.
But we're not gonna put. We're not gonna act like Ja Rule had bars or a classic album or he's some MC.
That ain't what we said.
That people need to check for. He had 7 good songs.
He had a run.
He had a definitely run. He had bops.
He had whatever a bop is.
Had
Yeah,
bops.
yeah.
I don't know that slang,
He had bops.
but he had a run. That's a fact.
Yeah, Jewel.
Y'all overstating this.
Joel's just man. When your fall off affects your physical appearance,
That's when it's next
That's-
level.
Sam's
that's
addicted,
the next
Sam's
level.
addicted to candy.
that
Stop.
to candy,
That's what he
Stop.
said.
Liquid candy.
yeah, drugs. This nigga was a crackhead. What you mean?
No, the story was that he was addicted to candy, Jolly Ranchers, and he had teeth problems from eating too much Jolly Ranchers. He went to his dentist about his teeth.
How did
and
he even
the
approve-
dentist prescribed him pain pills because he had to pull
And he
his
got
teeth
addicted
out.
to the pain
And He
pills.
got addicted to the pain pills.
What that got to do with his teeth though?
Yeah, that's a great story. And
Cool
then-
story, bro.
He went about his teeth falling out.
And you also, I know he was hurting is because it's no way I approved my appearance on Love and Hip Hop for a whole season with my teeth fucked
Yeah,
up
that's
like
true.
that.
Y'all ain't feeling nothing.
He needed that check.
He needed that little.
Well, at least I
more
got to get my teeth fixed before I start.
He
filming.
talking like this the whole
Yeah,
season.
that shit
rough.
crazy.
You're not Marlon Brando.
Give us some music, man. What we got? What's out? What's coming out? What we have to look
man.
forward to? Anything.
So Rapper Go to the League is out.
For sure.
The Baby came out last week.
Listen to
Rate
that.
What is this rate that?
Oh, my bad. I give it 3 reels. Good, worth streaming.
I'm going 3.5.
That's banging, I believe.
I give it 3 as well,
It's good, worth streaming. Check it out.
for sure. Coming up, Juice WRLD has something coming out this week.
I'm afraid to
It's
listen to
called
that.
A Death Race for Love.
I will not be checking for that.
But that's a Twisted Metal cover though from PlayStation. So
Twisted
I'll give
Metal
him
2?
that.
Wow.
It's Twisted Metal 1, 2. That's what his album cover is a play on. So I'll give him that.
Okay.
What do you know about Twisted Metal?
Hey, listen, Twisted Metal 2 is a classic video
The
game.
man can't know.
He young.
He's like a child, man. Ain't no way he know about Crystal Metal.
That's the internet. Man. Everything is researchable.
That's true.
Little Skies came out last week.
Little
too.
Skies, yeah. Did you like that?
Yeah, I like that project. You like it?
I ain't listened to those guys.
That's a solid project, dude. Like I was actually slick shocked because I hate auto tune.
Yeah.
But I can listen. Like dude got real. He's a nice songwriter. Like he got good melodies and shit. Like check that shit out though.
The songs I heard, they were decent.
Give it a little more than that.
Yeah,
though.
but I like T-Pain's One Up album. Decent. Good album.
I didn't know people listen to T-Pain's projects. I'm gonna be real. I thought they only fucked with him for the singles. I had no clue people actually listen to his full albums. I saw people online talking about this T-Pain album, and I was like, when did niggas start listening to T-Pain?
Yeah, man, you gotta give T-Pain don't get credit. You gotta give him credit. Other than that asinine shit he just said, but you gotta give him credit. Yeah, another one that had a run.
That's true. He had a run. He did have a run. He's got the greatest hits.
Yeah, for sure. He has an essentials. If you have an essentials,
then you
had a run.
That means you had a run.
Yeah.
That's true.
I get out there.
What you got on deck for this weekend?
For this weekend, I'm continuing my workout plan, man. I'm getting back. I got people coming in from out of town. Shout out, my godson coming to holler at me.
For sure.
What you got up? You still housewarming? When the housewarming party?
Yeah, what's up, man?
I don't know. I might do a virtual housewarming.
Virtual
I
housewarming.
don't want all y'all motherfuckers in my show.
You get these virtual flowers as a gift.
Virtual gifts, virtual gift card.
Nah, but two things. I'm at the Mariah Carey show tomorrow at Fox. That's not a legend.
It's a married man concert.
That's exactly what that is. And Captain Marvel come out Friday.
I wonder which Mariah you're gonna get.
Scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you about this Mariah Carey show?
4.
Yeah.
This is more for the wife. This was a birthday present for her.
4, a lot more than I expected.
I like Mariah Carey.
She is a legend.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bucket list artist.
Yeah, bro.
For some.
She's definitely on my 90s playlist heavy.
As she should be on all of y'all's.
Yeah.
And then Captain Marvel on Friday. Actually, it come out Friday, but I'm getting to see it Thursday.
People
because I'm
shit
special.
on Captain Marvel.
It don't look that good, but I see everything Marvel.
They saw it already? Oh, you talking about the reviews?
A lot of critics been saying it.
Oh, wow.
I heard it was fake reviews,
like
though.
Marvel trying to separate themselves from it. I did plenty of shit that I've heard.
Oh.
So
who knows? M Extra, what you got on deck?
Not the slightest clue. I might see Captain Marvel, though, but you guys just kind of put a damper on that. But I might see it.
What you have on deck of the week?
On deck of the week, everybody on iTunes has left a comment, all 107 of them.
Appreciate y'all.
We've been growing.
Whoever leave the best comment on YouTube this week can get that guaranteed on deck of the week slot next week. So y'all will compete for that.
Guaranteed.
Leave those YouTube comments, let us cycle through.
Yep, youtube.com/OndeckTV podcast. And like you just said before, too, iTunes, rate, subscribe, and like. And we will see y'all next week.
We out.